Welcome back, America. 34 minutes after the hour. Joined now by Joe Scarborough of Morning Joe. Joe, welcome. It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
It's great talking to you, Hugh.
Joe, how many Americans do you think will not have the health insurance they presently have come January 1 of 2014? How many millions are we talking about?
I'm trying to figure it out right now. Somebody thought maybe 10 million, 11 million. This morning we were talking about it, and you know, you had administration officials coming on saying it wasn't a big deal, but it's a huge deal. I mean, the president, especially, and I talked an awful lot this morning about I asked Mike Barnacle this morning, how many people actually sift through the words of a State of the Union address and allows the President of the United States to say something that Lisa Myers found out last night, several members of his administration knew about, and the President knew about. And I mean, for the President to deliberately mislead millions and millions of Americans in a State of the Union address certainly seems to me to have as much impact or more impact on the day-in, day-out lives of millions and millions of Americans than the 16 words George Bush was crucified for saying in the 2003 State of the Union address.
Well said. I hadn't thought about that. This is Clarence Page, your MSNBC colleague, with me yesterday talking in response to the promises the president made. He knew he was lying?
Probably. But that's one of those political lies.
Are you surprised that people like Clarence Page are admitting the president just out and out lied?
What else can you do? I asked everybody this morning I asked a lot of White House reporters this morning, what's the White House's spin? I asked Chuck Todd, what's the White House's spin? He said they don't have one. It is such a deliberate, it was such a flagrant lie. When you're telling people they can keep their insurance policies if they want to. Now, I had a lot of conservatives last night, tweeting, interrupting my Red Sox game, tweeting, saying, well, why didn't you guys report about this a couple of years ago? Well, I think we all knew this was the case, that the president and the administration was misleading the American people. But what was new with Lisa Myers' revelation was last night was it had like 3 or 4 people that were actually working with the president who said the president knew at the time and let them know at the time that what he was saying was not the truth.
Do you think Joe Scarborough, do you think he knew at the time?
Of course.
I do, too. Now here's the real focus.
No, Hugh, how could he not?
He couldn't have. He knew.